Did you guys see that? That activist in America, Charlie Kirk, he got shot. Did you see that? That guy loves gun violence and he got shot. Did you see that? Oh man, Charlie Kirk. You know, to the Charlie Kirk family. Did you see all that blood that came out of his body? It was like, whoa. To every Zionist, every Christian Zionist, may you be just like that shop, the Target. All his followers, just like the shop, the Target. I'm not saying that violence isn't the way, so don't misconstrue my words, okay? Did you see all that blood? That dude's dead. There is a fucking God.
We're gonna push it. We're gonna see how far we can push it. I was not kidding when I said, if you were gonna get the job done, there were two better candidates. And furthermore, when that happens, and it will, it will, not only will we be insensitive, that'll be the least of your worries. But it's gonna be the biggest celebration, the biggest, most beautiful celebration on planet Earth. On planet Earth right now. The entire planet is gonna celebrate when he takes the turn. Finally.
If they're this upset about our reaction to Charlie Kirk, wait until they see what happens, how we act when it happens. Uh-oh.
I wonder if by continuing to lie, they aren't about everything. They're driving all of us a little crazy.
Well, this is why your faith is the most important thing. Because for those of us that are Christians, it doesn't drive you crazy. You actually see what's going on, which is that we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and darkness and spirits, that there's a spiritual war here. And you're right, Tucker. I find people in this space that are not anchored to faith, anchored to Jesus, they do lose their mind. Because there is no rational or reasonable explanation for what the country is doing to itself or what we are experiencing. But if you then see and you know that there is a God and we are not him, that there is an entire dimension of angels and demons and spirits that are constantly struggling around us, and that there is a supernatural dimension, as you mentioned, all of a sudden, that does then make sense. It does not make any rational sense to shut down your schools so you can sacrifice the kids so the elderly can live. That makes no sense whatsoever. It makes no sense whatsoever to keep your marijuana dispensaries open and your alcohol shops open, but the church not essential. Only a demonic enterprise would do such a thing. Only a demonic enterprise would say that Easter and Pentecost are not essential, but race rioting and burning down a Wendy's is essential activity. And Tucker, you talk about this a lot. For those of us that know the truth, we know that our God is a God of order and distinction. What is the first thing that God did? In the Hebrew scriptures it says, well, and also our scripture in the original Genesis, Bereshit, which is in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, and then he separated and he made sense, he made order out of chaos. Our God is a God of order. And order only comes with distinctions. And distinctions are necessary. Think about all the distinctions that God set up in the first 6 books of Genesis that are currently under attack. The distinction between male and female. The distinction between man and nature. The distinction between the holy and the profane. The distinction between good and evil. The distinction between infant and adult. These distinctions have always been what Western civilization were built upon, but it is Satan's goal to blur and eventually destroy those distinctions, because those distinctions of which we get order, and if you do not have that order, then you have the closest thing to satanic chaos here.
Welcome to Truth with JJ Carrell. Do we have order in our lives, or do we live in satanic chaos? I showed you a few clips of people that I believe they're demons. I believe there is no explanation other than Satan is roaming the earth. I don't know how anybody could look at, I chose 3 or 4 videos. I could have chose, this is not exaggeration or hyperbole, I could have chose tens of thousands. Literally, I can't get it out on my feed. I've tried manipulating my algorithm. I tried they're inundated. There's so many of them celebrating the murder of Charlie Kirk and the potential deaths of Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, and the potential murders of more people that align with that thought, conservative Christians. That I can't, it's overwhelmed all my socials. And then I started thinking about this over the weekend. Well, this is everything that's written about, talked about, discussed. This is the good versus evil that we're facing. There's no trying to get rid of it, trying to maneuver through it. It's here. And I find myself today, I get angry and I'm maybe even aggressive, some people will say, about the way that I deliver what I believe. And now I'm finding myself, I'm very more calm than ever before as things are getting, and this is how I do in my professional life as well, as things get ramped up and chaos is raging and people are losing their minds and they're screaming and there's chaos everywhere and there's everything that makes people nervous. I get very calm. And I'm starting to see that in my life, and it's making me I know it's hard to articulate, but the calmer that I'm getting, the more anxiety that I begin to feel, because as I'm getting calmer and I'm seeing the chaos accelerate, it's telling me the war's coming. Just like I used to be out in the field, working with my guys, and I don't know how to really articulate this when you're taking down giant drug loads on the beach at 2:00 in the morning. It's chaotic. It is unnerving when there's 5 of you and 30 of them and people running everywhere and boat engines are wailing in the water and people are diving in the water and people are running up the hillside. Cars are flying away, trying to get away. It's just chaos. And I loved it because the more chaotic it got, as I was the supervisor in charge, the more calm that I would have to be in order to give out directions and orders of how to get that chaos wrapped up tight and everyone arrested. And that's how I'm feeling today. It's just how I'm feeling. And it makes me a little nervous because as I'm telling you this, I'm thinking of the chaos that I'm witnessing, the threats of violence. And I'm a big believer in listen to what people say and watch their actions. And it's predictive of the future. We have a vast, significant percentage of our population that is enjoying, that's the best word, enjoying the pain and suffering of our side, the pain and suffering of a family losing their father and their husband. Who does that? And they're telling us more's coming. And when you look at these people, and like I said, I could look at thousands, tens of thousands of these people. They're demonic. They have been, they're possessed. I used to think when I was younger, I'd watch The Exorcist, or I'd hear people talk about it, and I just kind of roll my eyes and like, Jiminy Christmas. All right, I'm moving away from these people. Now it's very clear to me. I don't know how you can look at some of these people, or all of these people, and there is a vile, grotesque look to them. I'm not talking about somebody that's unattractive, or somebody that's obese, or I'm not talking about the normal attraction or lack of attraction. People may look at me and go, I don't like guys that look like you. I get it, but I'm not vile. There are people that are not physically, quote, attractive, but they're wonderful people. They're not vile. You're a beautiful person. I see the beauty that's within you is unbelievable. That's what makes you so attractive to people. When you look at the left, it's not normal, I'm not attracted. It's an ugliness. It is a vile manifestation of what's in their soul. They're demons. They're grotesque. And when you get to that point and you understand, okay, God is real. Satan is real. Satan was cast down to earth. Are his army just going to kind of dance around things? Or are you, as the Satan, the devil, going to create chaos in God's natural order? Charlie Kirk just enumerated several things on top of his head, as he always was able to do. You've blurred the lines of distinction between infants and adults, pedophilia. You've blurred the lines between men and women to now it's a monster. You blurred the lines between good and evil. Do you, as Americans, do you feel, exclude the world world's on fire too. We can get in that another day, but it is on fire. Ask yourself this question and be very honest. Do you feel safe? Do you feel as if the world is good? Do you feel as if the other shoe's going to drop at any moment? Do you feel financially secure? Do you trust your medical doctors? Do you trust the teachers that are teaching your children at school and education? Do you trust your priests and your pastors are telling you the truth about Jesus? Do you trust your government? Do you trust your intel agencies? Do you trust your law enforcement? I don't know how anyone listening or watching this could ask themselves those questions and return an answer of yes. I really don't. If you feel safe, you're in. Let me explain to you, men like me in law enforcement that have weapons in our house, and military guys that have been in war, we don't feel safe. If we don't feel safe, what the hell are you thinking you're safe for? at least we've had training, been in combat. We know what the hell's going on. We know what evil looks like and how it needs to be dealt with. And we know the probability is good because we're trained that we can get out and survive. But we also are very aware that it doesn't matter the probability, because I have to be 100% to get out alive every time. If I'm 1 out of 100, then I die. Where's that one? Is it at the very end of my career or my life? Or is it in the first day of my job? Is it in the middle of my career? Is it right before I retire? Is it my last deployment? Man, I got through eight deployments. And why do those guys get so nervous? Why do guys get nervous toward the end of their careers? Because they're thinking, damn, I have escaped death for a long time. Please just let me get through this last deployment. Please let me get through this last task force that I'm on. Please, please, please just let me get out of here. And I'm telling you that guys like me do not feel safe. And you're telling me you feel safe. I don't even know what to say to people like that. They're oblivious. I know that. I talk a lot about choosing sides. And it's become extremely clear, and has become, maybe just this weekend, I don't know what's happened to my thoughts, but things are getting more crystal clear for me. And it is, and I've talked about this many times, it's no longer Republican and Democrat. This is a good versus evil. And the line in the sand has been drawn, and people now, I'm seeing, are starting to jump to the Christian side. They're finding God. What's making them find God? I think the people that are not fully consumed by demonic possession are looking around at their side, and they're saying to themselves, I don't believe in any of this. People are cheering for a guy that got literally his neck exploded, and his wife and children have to deal with this. I can't be a part of this. And the other side is starting to look at, I know this is happening. Charlie Kirk's a horrible person. He's a horrible person. Talks about no empathy, and civil rights was an abomination, which it was, on and on and on. And then they go look at his videos, and they're not seeing that. They're seeing a compassionate man talking about Jesus and how that is the way to eternal salvation and happiness here on earth. And they're flipping. But I want my audience to be very clear what the other side wants. And that is your death. What does the other side, who are they? What do they look like? Sam Hyde came out, I think it was this weekend, and I just clipped 2 minutes of it. I want you to listen to this, because he tells you, he shows you who they are. And his monologue, this little part of his longer monologue, is spot on. Watch this.
This is you. This is your sister, your wife, your daughter. But this right here is you. This is your sister, your wife, your daughter. This is you. This is your sister, your wife, your daughter. But this is you. And this is their reaction when you are killed. This is the joy they feel when your sister is raped, when your children are castrated, brainwashed to hate you. This is their ecstasy when the floor of the subway car is awash in your blood. This is you. Make no mistake, that is a symbol, that is you. But this won't last long. They can't help themselves because they're so ugly and so low that the only joy they can experience, the only good that they can envision, is to take something beautiful or innocent down to their level. And when they can't do it, the next best thing is blood. This is Charlie's family, and these are his children who will never be able to hug their dad and grow up with a murdered father. And these are the people who smugly revel in this, and they won't stop with just Charlie. The boats are burned. There's nobody coming to help. The barbarians are at the gate. This is the fall of ancient Rome that we are living through currently. And what happens in the next 2 weeks is going to determine the future of mankind. That's not hyperbole. That's just how it is.
Barbarians at the gate, and no one's coming to help, and the ships have been burned. We are living through the last days of Rome. That's not hyperbole. I really don't believe it is. I believe that we are living, I knew that we were living in times that are numbered, but something has accelerated. The murder of Charlie Kirk has accelerated this movement. And he is right. That woman that was stabbed to death on a subway, that is your daughter. That is your wife. They're mutilating your children. Those are your children. And you are the head of the household. Do you think they're not going to come for you? You think Charlie Kirk, that was the head of a snake kill? Because what was Charlie Kirk doing? He was changing the minds of the youth. The left is dead. They don't know it. They're just dead man walking. That generation that goes to Charlie Kirk's has gone and was going to Charlie Kirk events. And now all the way down to my 14-year-old son's generation, where this weekend I listened to them talk politics as I was taking them to a high school football game. They're changing. They're going to change everything. It really comes down to, can we win the war, the physical, kinetic, death, violent war with the left? I've heard this ad nauseum this weekend. Well, we need to talk this out. We need to abhor violence. As a man that came from the world of violence, let me reassure you, or at least educate you, that it all ends in violence. Always. Always. There is a kinetic, physical contact. Always. And if you have a resentment toward me for saying that, or if you hate the fact that I'm saying that out loud, then you're just defying reality. This is the reality of human nature. Just like men can't have babies, men can't menstruate. You can't be a cat because you want to be a cat. You can't lop your breast off and say that you're a man. You're just a disfigured freak of a woman. Everything ends in chaos and violence. It all does. This will not go out in a whimper. If they win, how do they win? Do we live in harmony? Is that what you're expecting from the left? Is harmony? Live and let live? You really believe that's what's going to happen? You really believe that when they have the opportunity and they have the upper hand, be politically, through crushing us, through censorship, that's passe. That's just, okay, whatever. That's yesterday's news. When they have the opportunity to physically kill us, they will physically kill us. They will torment us. Do you think that we win when we can just get a few of them to be quiet? Do you really believe that those demon-possessed monsters are just going to allow this to happen? I mean, know your enemy. For God's sake, get in the ball game. Understand what's happening or has happened to our country and what has manifested. To the idea that we're in some situation where we just need to have more robust discussion. Here's the thing. We've tried that for decades. Look at what it's gotten us. We have tried to speak and share our beliefs. And what have we gotten for it? We have gotten sexual perversion, destruction of our societal and cultural norms, the defiling of our religious institutions to the point that God has been expelled from our nation. We have crime that is rampant. We have racial violence that has not been seen in a very, very long time, maybe if ever. We have disparity in wealth that is, it's like third world country now. The middle class is being eaten alive. And we have people that are uber wealthy. Well, how did they get uber wealthy? Well, the government shut all the businesses down and closed them except for the big box stores. Because you see, COVID it was only going into small stores. I didn't know if you knew this. Small stores and churches and small restaurants. Big restaurants, big box stores, and weed dispensaries and liquor stores. The way the Chinese created the COVID virus was that they knew they couldn't go in there. They couldn't penetrate that. So that's why we were able to go to all those. Don't you know that? Something is happening. When I started to see these videos this past weekend after Charlie Kirk's, the end of the week to the weekend, it really started to populate. These videos started to circulate. And they're videos of people that are coming to Christ. I'm talking the other side coming to Christ. The other side that yesterday they were the enemy, and today they're on our side. And at first I was like, holy smokes, this is beautiful. And it still is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But I'm watching it, and I have a different take. And my take is, it feels as if this is everyone's last chance to make that final determination. This is what side they're going to go on. It's like the recess bell is going to ring in 10 minutes and we've got to get this game going. All right, you got your side, I got my side. Okay, let's go. We have X amount of time to get this game in. That's what it feels like. I'm going to show you these videos, but before I do, if you do not believe that you don't need to be prepared. If you think that the world is okay and you don't need anything from sat123.com, go ahead, just fast forward this. If you're not watching this live, fast forward it. To the people that think and understand that we are, some people believe we are in a civil war. Some people believe a civil war is coming. Some kinetic, physical interaction is coming. Are you prepared? That's the biggest question I have. I have this discussion with my family. Are we prepared? Let's talk about a school shooting. Let's talk about shooting at a church. Let's talk about if some crazy people show up at our house. Let's talk about this stuff. Are we prepared? One way I am prepared is I go to this store, sat123.com, sat123.com/JJ. What do I have? My family has ballistic backpacks. If you're seeing my family traveling, we're getting on a train or we're flying somewhere in the airport and you see us carrying our backpacks, you would have no idea. You have zero idea that I have Kevlar in my backpacks. I get it from sat123.com. My son is on his second year using this backpack. My son's never gone through 9 months having a backpack sustain the wear and tear of a teenager. Second year, looks brand new. Ballistic backpack. My son goes to a private school. Oh, he's safe. And well, no. The last several school shootings were demons going in and killing Christian children. Why would the demons go and kill the other demons and say the public schools? Why would you go and especially kill the kids that are going to mass and learn about Jesus? Let's get rid of them. Let's make everyone in that vicinity, including their parents, question the existence of God. Well, what's the best way to do that is put a bullet into a child's head. Well, that's how you do it. My son's starting to drive. We live in a rural area. Sometimes connectability is not great. Sometimes there's floods. Sometimes there's war. And cables get cut. So I need some way to connect to my family. Well, that's through a sat phone. If I can go out and look at the sky, I can see a satellite or something that my phone can work and I have connectability with my family. I cannot implore you enough to go to sat123.com. If you haven't been there before, just go on the website and look and say, do I need this? Do I need a cell? Do I need a sat phone? Do I need a ballistic backpack? Do I need a Starlink? Do I need a generator? You're the only one that knows what you really need. I know what I need, and I'm getting prepared, and I do it through my sponsorship with Sat123. Sat123.com/JJ. I want to show you this video about what I'm talking about. And it's long. It's 3.5 minutes. And normally I would never show a 3.5 minute video. But I feel like I need to show you this video. It is a guy that has self-admitted has been in and out of jail. He's got tattoos on his neck and his face, and he's everything yesterday you would say, oh boy, I'm crossing the street, or if I'm walking down that, he knows that I know who he is, and I ain't playing any games type of dude. And this guy finds Jesus. And you can see his world just got rocked. Like rocked in a beautiful way. And this is happening across America right now. Because of Charlie Kirk. Honestly, there's no other reason. There's a fire spreading across America for God and Jesus. Because everyone feels lost. Everyone feels as if this world is on fire, and they are right, it is on fire. And people are beginning to see where they're standing, what side of the earth they're standing on, and they're looking down at that divide, that gigantic line drawn in the sand. It's a trench now. It's getting bigger and deeper. And people are like, I can't be on this side. How do I get to that side? And our side saying, well, do you believe in God? Well, no, I don't believe in God. Well, why don't you read this Bible? Okay. And then they're transformed. Watch this video. If you play this for me, Thomas, number 7, it's powerful. And it's undeniable.
No, I'm just gonna come out with it. I've got saved enough, and I feel I ain't never felt nothing so good, so peaceful. I swear, it's really happened. It's really freaking happened, dude. Like, yeah, I thought I was saved before. I said the prayers, but I didn't meet them. I mean, I thought I met them, but you know what? God stepped in and took control. I'm saved. I don't even deserve it.
What did he do for you so you can be saved?
He gave his life. God gave his only begotten son for me. I'm not worthy. But you know what? I've got to get people to feel that feeling. They gotta understand. And I've been questioning myself for so long. You know what people told me? Oh, it's just the devil. It's just the devil to tell you you're not saved. You really are saved. I wasn't saved, man. They don't know what they're talking about. They need my help. Thank you, man.
How many sins did he pay for with his own blood?
All of them. One drop. Am I right?
What's that like when you call upon the name of the Lord to receive such a gift?
I can't explain it, bro. I know that I don't know what happened. Something took control right there when I was praying, dude. And I know that it was God. That's what happens when you save, right? That's what I should. I didn't feel that none of the other times. That was just, that's how you know. I ain't been as happy in so long. And you know what?
A lot of people have prayed for you for a long time.
It's so awesome. I didn't do it. This is what my time is. My time is not one. That's what I've been. God's awesome. He is literally there. He's really there. Really doing this. Thank you. Thank you, Aaron.
The Lord put it on your heart to reach out.
2 months now. He's been, I don't know. It's just, I was supposed to, I pushed it away. I even thought about in jail. I was ashamed when you come see me in jail. And threw me for a surprise, but I had to end the visit because I couldn't look at you. I couldn't face you. I would have been like you been saved. Should I ask her? I need to ask her to she looks pretty happy. I'll give her this panel. I'm keeping this one. Where's your other one at?
You can feel it, right? And those are endless on the internet now. Endless. When people say, well, you want to be divisive and you don't want those people. No, I want all those people. I want every single one of those people to find their way to God and to see the way. But if they refuse and they're going to fight us, I will never listen to a pastor that tells me to turn the other cheek. Will not do that. You believe in that effeminate gay God and Jesus all you want. I'm not. I'm not going to sit. There's no way God created me to be a coward. There's no way. No, will not believe the Western feminization of God will not do it for no one. For no one. Before I get into this next, because I want to talk about this, there's a post that Sean Ryan of the Sean Ryan Show, who I have great respect for, incredible, has like 5 million followers, has incredible interviews that I've watched. They're amazing. I want to piggyback on SAT 123 is I want you to be prepared. Well, how is that? Well, you don't poison your family with food that is made from big box stores that hate you, companies that hate you. And you shop at a place where it's made by Americans for America. In America. Isn't that a novel approach? I'm going to have a company in America. I'm going to employ Americans in that company, and I'm going to make safe and wonderful products. And I'm going to sell it to Americans. Holy smokes. Let's go to patriotsmade.com/JJ. Over 1,000 of viewers of mine have made that switch. They've gone to patriotsmade.com. You have to take your power back. And one way we do that is we do not feed the machine the money that we earn so that they can poison us, or they can give it to companies and organizations like Black Lives Matter, Planned Parenthood, defund the police, the Democrat Party. We go to a store, a virtual store, that will deliver the products to us that are less expensive. They are green and healthy. They don't have plastics in the lotions, metals in the food, in the water. patriotsmade.com/JJ. All right. Sean Ryan. I saw this last night, preparing for the show. Popped up on a Facebook feed. And it was Sean Ryan telling a story about when he's a special forces guy, a war killer. And he was talking about a time where he despised his leader. And he was talking about this discussion he had with one of his other soldiers about how he asked him, would you even save this guy's life if we get into a problem? Because he most likely put us in that problem. And Sean Ryan's partner chastised him and said, yes, I would save him because he's American. And Sean Ryan's post was, we need to start thinking about our fellow Americans in that way, that we can't go to war against our own people. And I did something that I rarely do. I rarely, if ever, is respond or do a comment. I know it doesn't have any meaning to it, but I just had to. And I rarely do. And it's just because I believe those days are gone. And again, I have incredible respect for Sean Ryan. And I know exactly what his intent was. And he's right to a point, that we need to fight and protect our American brothers, even if we disagree with them. Fine, I have no problem with that. Where I have a problem is believing that we're all Americans. So Mr. Sean Ryan's premise was built on a foundation of sand. There are 55 million illegal aliens in America. There are over 55 million visa holders. You have approximately 110 million people in America that are not Americans. You couple that with corporations that don't care about their nation. On top of that, you have politicians in our House, in our Senate, that are dual citizens. You have people that surround those politicians that are illegal aliens, that are dual citizens. So we don't have true Americans. So when you hear people talk about, well, we need to offer this to, maybe Americans, we need to fight for them. Okay, well, before we start down that path of what you believe I should do, why don't you show me and account for who the Americans are? Let's start there. I think that's a fair request. Before you start telling me how I have to fight for Americans, which I'm all for, show me who these Americans are. Well, that politician has dual allegiance. That senator or congressman has citizenship with Israel. Well, that explains a lot. Well, this congresswoman is from Guatemala. This one's from Somalia. This one's from Mexico. This one, Ted Cruz, is from Canada. Show me the real Americans. Show me people that don't vote to appeal to their country at the negative of America. And this is the beauty of the left. This is one of the greatest things the left has been able to accomplish. And that is the blurring of all lines. No one knows anything. And no one trusts anyone or any institution. That is their greatest accomplishment, because that's how you destroy a society. A society, let's bring society down to what is the basic building block, is the family. If you don't trust your husband or wife or your kids, your family is going to deteriorate. It's going to just fall apart. What if I told you all the families don't trust each other? And all the families don't trust the head of the house? What's going to happen to that society? It's going to implode. It's going to disintegrate. It's going to die. And that's what's happening to America. Sean Ryan is absolutely correct. We should fight for Americans. But again, I need you to show me. I need you to push to one side all the Americans. And I want all the 110 million plus foreign-born nationals on one side. I want to see the politicians. I want them to lay bare who they have allegiance to. Why do they keep denying every bill that demands that they have to produce where they're citizens of? I think that's a fair question, but they won't allow it. Why? And why do we have people in our country that have dual allegiance? It used to be when you swore an oath and became a naturalized citizen, you had to renounce all other citizenships. But now we don't. You know that we're bringing people into our military that have dual citizenship? Do you know that? Talked about this wench before, but I need to give you an example. We've talked about Ilhan Omar. I want you to listen to this. This is about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. It's important, though, because, and I'm not just bagging on this ugly, skinny wrench, this wench, this disgusting piece of trash from Somalia. She is a symbol of what is now ruling our country. And you wonder why we never get any better. You wonder why America's greatness is waning. Well, this is why. You've allowed the enemy, not just inside your gates, but you prop them up in positions of power and authority, and you're shocked when she makes decisions that are not beneficial to you. Play this first clip of Ilhan Omar for me, please, number 8.
Masked armed men who are in plain clothes that are snatching people off the streets, unwilling to identify themselves. You have the military being deployed in our streets. My God, this is America. You have states' rights being disregarded. So, a constitutional crisis that's being created in front of our eyes. And the same week where we have a president who has deployed the military, who are trained to kill our enemies, not Americans, but our enemies, are in our streets. It's the same week that we are going to have a military parade. Can you imagine that image that is going to be coming out of our country? I mean, I grew up in a dictatorship. And I don't even remember ever witnessing anything like that. To have a democracy, a beacon of hope for the world to now be turned into one of the worst countries where the military are in our streets without any regard for people's constitutional rights, while our president is spending millions of dollars propping himself up like a failed dictator with a military parade. It is really shocking, and it should be a wake-up call for all Americans to say this is not the country we were born in. This is not the country we believe in. This is not the country our founding fathers imagined, and this is not the country that is supported by our Constitution, our ideals, our values. And we should all collectively be out in the streets rejecting what is taking place this week.
What our founding fathers would never, ever, ever have imagined: a Somali pirate like yourself being in the House of Congress. Somebody who is so grotesquely stupid as you are, so just blatantly anti-American as you are, would be in the same Senate as Hamilton, Adams, Jefferson, Washington. You, with your dirty towel on your head? Sweetheart, why do you think there's military on the street? You think that Trump just wants to deploy military on the street? Or is it because you created such a situation that now we have to deploy National Guard because everyone's killing everyone? You have National Guard going to Memphis, Tennessee. You have National Guard that needs to be in Washington. They're going to Chicago. They're going to go to LA. They're going to go to Philadelphia. They're going to have to end up in Minnesota, where you are, sweetheart, where you have little Mogadishu. You know what? I can't imagine a group of people hey, JJ, you won't believe this, but there's a lot of Somali families going to move in your neighborhood. I'm out. Sell. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm out. Well, that's racist. No. I'm not living with people that have beliefs and their ideals are antithetical to mine. Why would I want to live with anyone like that? Why? Well, I wouldn't. Well, you're a white nationalist. What does that mean? Well, you believe that America is white and okay, I still don't know what you mean. Well, you just want to be around white people. No, I don't want to be around illegal or legal Somali pirates. Don't want to do it. Sean Ryan's telling me that I have to fight for Americans, and I will, but I'm not fighting for her. I need to see in that movie Civil War, where the guy is pleading with the resistance, but we're Americans. And the greatest line of maybe of all history, this guy holding his M4 looks at him and says, "What type of American?" And we're going to have those very, very hard questions having to be asked. What type of American are you? Oh, you're the dual allegiance, the dual citizen. Oh, you've been doing everything for Somalia. Oh. Thomas, I would like you to pull up number 11, because these are also the type of people that Sean Ryan is asking me to fight for. Can you pull up number 11 for me? I'm not fighting for them. I refuse to fight for them. They would rape and kill my wife and my child, and they will kill me. I'm not fighting for them. I refuse. I will fight them. I will not fight for them. The battle line has been drawn. I know what side I'm on. I know how God built me. He built me that I would never die at the hands of those pathetic, weak people. There's no way. And there's no way I'm fighting for them. No. If they get on their knees, they find God, and they repent from their sinful ways, their sexual perverse nastiness, their lust to kill us, yeah, I don't have a problem having you come across that giant trench that you dug. And you're like, I'm sorry I dug that ditch and that trench. I want to come to the right side. I don't have a problem with that. You remain on the other side of that trench, then we're going to go to war. And I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to lose. That's the mindset of men like me. Your side, I would like to say it's rooted in something. You're not rooted in anything. You're going to cut bait and run the moment those bullets start flying, because you're gutless cowards. You're all gutless cowards. All of you. And people like Ilhan Omar, Speaker Johnson, Mitch McConnell, if he's even still alive, they're the problem. Both parties. Our government is corrupt to the core. Our government is the enemy of the people. Our government needs to be completely torn down. And everyone knows it. Do you know what they did, the Senate did, in the midst of all this chaos with Charlie Kirk? Well, they voted down the bill that was going to make the government expose all of the people involved in Epstein. Well, why did they do that? Do you think they did that because they're trying to shield us? Or do you think that a significant percentage of their people are pedophiles that have been on Epstein Island raping children? Of course it is. Do you know that the Republicans have the control of the Senate? Just to remind you that. So Republicans had to side and go against their constituents. Yeah. So please spare me. The Republicans are good. The Republicans they're a lesser evil than the Democrats. The Republicans just want it to be a little more cleaner. They like a kind of a treason that resembles a country club. And as my show's closing down, I understand. I know how I sound right now. And I know that I'm calm. I'm not agitated in any way. But I want you to understand that my calmness should make you have high anxiety. Because men like me are getting calmer and calmer and calmer every single day, because we see the chaos ratcheting it up every single day. And we know the war is coming. And men like me begin to become more calm, because we have to get our minds right. We have to be prepared and ready to go when the bell rings. And the bell is going to start ringing really, really soon.
July 6, 2005. This is Tom Harper. Man figures plankton stopped his rare cancer. We got more of a response from this from our viewers than anything else you and I have ever discussed.
Tom Harper, 20 years ago, he had mesothelioma, deadly lung cancer, was given weeks to live, and he just intuitively started to eat the phytoplankton out of his fish tanks because he fed the phytoplankton to his shellfish. He was a shellfish farmer. And when he went in for the surgery, the surgeon came out of the operating room and told his family, I have not ever seen anything like it. The cancer is benign, and Tom Harper lived for years. He retired in Hawaii. We're not making any claim.
Here he is in his own words.
Started on a daily routine of just taking a bit of paste, putting it in my mouth, and wash it down with a drink of water. Within about 10 to 15 days, here I am, less pain in my back. I knew that something was going on, so I just kept eating half a teaspoon of this paste a day. I was booked to go for surgery in Victoria where they were going to do what they call a talc treatment. They went in there to have a look, saw something they never seen before, took 11 sites, sent them away for biopsy. I got the news back. Everything was benign. They just did not know what to make of it. Everything was absolutely clean. And I've tried dieting all my life because I'm a diabetic. If it's a coincidence or not, I don't know. My blood sugar started dropping. My weight started falling off. Here I am, no longer requiring insulin, and I was taking 88 units a day of insulin. I can eat just about what I want in moderation, and I have no elevated sugar levels, and I feel fabulous.
People, you hear the word cancer, and they want you to be instilled with fear. Cancer is nothing but a profound failure of the immune system. And what happens